Welcome to another episode of The Wandering Prodigal. We are facing something that has been unprecedented in this whole entire world. It's a pandemic that has been making hundreds of thousands of ill and killing thousands of people. Recently, as of a couple of days ago, the United States gained the dubious distinction of being the most infected in the whole entire world. But what's been happening to this nation, to this world? I know here in the United States, there's been a lot of ignorance. There's been a lot of misinformation. This is a pandemic called COVID-19, or a lot of other big people have been known it as the coronavirus. The term coronavirus is the virus that has been feeding into the COVID-19. The COVID-19 is the official name of this. But one of the things that's been happening, there's been a lot of misinformation. There's been a lot of blaming, a lot of denial. President Trump himself has been calling this the Chinese flu or the Chinese virus. You know, it may have originated there, but we can't blame them. We can't blame anybody else. All we can do is face ourselves. We've been in denial. Evangelicals have been out there saying, oh, God will protect us, but they themselves have become ill. There's been several that have died from this. We can't deny the fact that this is here. We have got to do our part in it. Many states have actually closed down. They've actually shuttered in. Washington State, where I'm from, has actually called in for a shelter-in order, which means that we can't leave. We've got to stay in our homes unless you have working an essential job, or if you're going to the doctor or going out to buy groceries. Those are the only exceptions. But too many have been ignoring this. While I've been out, I have to say that I do work in a position where I am essential. I do see a lot of people out there that shouldn't be out there. My commutes are actually half the time than what they normally are. But I still see a lot of people out there that aren't supposed to be out there. It does help that everything has closed down. Even the state parks here in Washington State are closed, so you can't just simply go to a park and actually hang out. But my Facebook page has been full of a lot of stuff that's been feeding into this. I've seen way too many evangelicals that have been saying, well, God will protect me from this, and then just go about their normal lives. I've seen way too many that have been pushing the blame on China. As a result, many Asians, and it isn't just Chinese, it's been all Asians that have been faced with a lot of backlash and ridicule. Local teriyaki restaurants have seen a major decline in business because of this. And that was before even the shuttering of all restaurants. By the way, restaurants are allowed to actually serve food as long as it's all takeout or delivery. But just the way that everything's been going on, I've lost several friends because I dared speak up for the people, the Asian people, because we shouldn't be blaming them. We should be blaming all of us as a result of this. The ignorance, trying to downplay it, trying to lead people to a false hope. You know, if we all do our part, face this, stay in. We need to do what we need to do to be able to stop this. We can't fully stop it, by the way, but they are calling for a flattening of the curve. We have seen evidence that shutting down and staying in does flatten that curve. The numbers do continue to climb, but at a much lower rate, and as a result, we're able to get ahead of this, not overwhelm our medical system. One of the things that I've been seeing in this country has been ignorance. And as a result, the numbers have become staggering. New York has gained, they're in the tens of thousands. I can't remember exactly. I think there are around 40,000 infected right now, maybe even more now. Uh, it's been staggering. Uh, Many other states have actually gained. Washington State was the first state to actually have a diagnosis of the coronavirus, COVID-19. And Washington State was the fastest growing initially in the first few weeks of this. Then the other states, we actually started shutting down. Schools have actually been out since the 17th of March. And restaurants and bars have all been closed down. As of this past Monday, which was the 23rd, the whole state got shut down. Only essential workers are supposed to be out. Any other public place has been closed down. Grocery stores are still operational, and other businesses that are essential to the function of the state to be able to get through this are still in operation. And I've noticed that our increase has decreased. So the rate of increase for this state has actually gone down, whereas many other states that have been ignoring this have actually increased by significant numbers. Louisiana has been one of the biggest states for increase and has seen their rate go up exponentially, almost like that of New York. But New York also has a very tight spot, an extreme population. I have to look at the numbers on that, which I haven't. That is my fault, but that's a major reason why they've increased at a rate that has been off the charts. But Louisiana, they're not a big state, but their increases have gone through the roof. And a lot of that was because people ignored that they needed to stay home, and they went and celebrated Mardi Gras. And they're saying that that is a major reason why in New Orleans that city has seen a rate that's been off the charts. The other thing that I've noticed is that on the White House level, President Trump has gone in circles. He's avoided facing this directly, and he needs to. He has also ignored states that have pleaded for help, for supplies that are desperately needed for the medical field. And in fact, he's actually ridiculed those governors that have been harsh on him, that they've tried their hardest to do their part in fighting this while the U.S. government has ignored it. And just in the last day or so, he has actually ridiculed these governors and said, well, you've been against me, so I'm not even going to help you. That's not the position of a leader. The position of a true leader is to actually stand up and do what is right, no matter what happens, no matter what comes at him, no matter what ridicule. He stands up and he does right. But the U.S. government has failed at this and has left it for most of the states to be able to face it on their own. And as a result, we don't have the resources to be able to do this. I'm looking at hospitals. New York is just overwhelmed. They're actually having to face the idea that they're going to have to choose who lives and who dies. And they don't want to do that. I know that here in Washington State, they're actually creating portable hospitals. CenturyLink Field, CenturyLink Field, where the Seahawks play, is actually going to have a hospital built right in the middle of the field. The Army Corps of Engineers is coming in. They've got all dimensions, and they're actually going to put in a hospital that's actually going to help take on the less serious people, while the actual hospitals to take on the more. The problem is we are lacking ventilators, and there's literally thousands of ventilators available, but they are needing millions of ventilators across this whole entire country. I know I'm kind of going in circles here, but there's a lot going on here, and we need to come to the fact we need to face this. We need to face it head on instead of blaming, instead of trying to give false hope. we need to give a real hope. The real hope is, yes, we're going to be shut down for several more weeks, and things are not going to be the same. Things are going to have to slowly come back online, and that is how we're going to be able to get this to be able to stay flat. This is not going to go away. This is here to stay, and we need to face it. We're still another year to year and a half out from a vaccine that will actually help us to be able to have an immunity to it. The fact is, this virus is something that has not been, this nation has never faced, this world has never faced. Us as a human race has never faced, because it is a virus that has no immunity to it. So if you get it, you are going to get it. And some people don't get it as bad, but they are finding that there have been younger people that have been getting it just as bad as older people. But those that are more susceptible to it, those age 60 and have underlying or have underlying conditions, are more susceptible to this. And so we need to protect these people. They have found that younger people can carry this and have no symptoms to it, and yet they continue walking around thinking that they don't have it. And they are finding that that has been one of the biggest spreaders of this. So, in conclusion here, we need to face this. We need to do our part. Stay home, hunker in. Schools are providing online resources, online classes. My kids' school, all their schools, are providing online resources for them. Their teachers are meeting up with them online, and they're doing everything possible to keep the social distancing. If you have to go out to a doctor, to the store to buy necessary items, do so with social distancing in mind. Many stores are limiting the amount of people that are allowed inside, so you have to get into a lineup, and you'll have to keep your distance. But let's do our part. Remember, social distancing. Stay home. You can go outside, you can be in your yard, you can take a walk around your neighborhood. Remember social distancing. But let's not be ignorant, and let's not just do our normal everyday thing. This is the new norm. This is the way we're going to be for several more months. I hope that you are well. And as the saying has been going in this state, stay home, limit travel, stay safe. Thank you, and bye.